Catwoman is perhaps the greatest thief in the DC universe, but how did she even get to that point? Join me on day 4 of my Superhero Pride Month challenge, and let's talk nerdy about the bisexual whip-using burglar, Catwoman. But before we get into that, go ahead and leave an answer in the comments below to this question. Catwoman is teaching you how to be a cat burglar. What aspect of the job do you think you'd excel at? First appearing in Batman issue number 1, Selina Kyle was the illegitimate daughter of crime boss Carmine Falcone, but she was raised by her mother and a man that she believed was her father until adulthood. He was extremely abusive, to the point where her own mother committed suicide just to get away from him. And not long after that, her father died of liver failure, so now she was all alone. That's just the common rule of the superhero universe. Either their parents are dead or abusive. You rarely find any other types. But one day, Selina noticed a group of bullies targeting this young boy. So Selina stole a costume and a gun and threatened to kill those bullies. A sign of what her future was gonna look like. She's a bit rough around the edges, but she cares for the little guy. But after that, Selina decided to just fend for herself, and she taught herself how to steal and fight well before she was an adult, and she survived that way for years. And it wasn't long before she became a master thief, and she donned the persona of Catwoman. You get it? Because she's a cat burglar. I cannot say that word, burglar. Now, Catwoman has no superpowers, but she has all of the skills. She trained her body into peak human condition. She's an expert in acrobatics and hand-to-hand combat, making it easier for her to fight the likes of Batman. She's skilled with various forms of weaponry like guns, knives, claws, but her most iconic weapon is her whip. But her greatest skill is her thievery. She is a master of stealth, infiltration. She will steal your most valuable possession right from under your nose. Rich people better look out. As Catwoman, she used her skills to become a high-profile criminal in Gotham City, which often put her at odds with Batman. But Catwoman was not outright an evil person. Like, she did some questionable things, like was pushing it, but overall, she only did crime against those who could afford it, like rich people. So some of the things she would steal, I personally would let that slide. But Lord help you if you try to get in her way, because this woman is able to get the upper hand on Batman many occasions. So if you're just the security guard protecting this valuable object, it's in your best interest to just let homegirl take it. Otherwise, you're gonna end up shredded. But over the years, she slowly goes from being a criminal to an actual superhero, joining the likes of superhero teams like the Bat Family, the Birds of Prey, and even the Justice League. Like I said earlier, deep down, she has a heart of gold. Now let's talk about Catwoman's love life, because I love love and I want to talk about it. Catwoman is bisexual in the comics, and while she has flirted with a lot of people, it never really meant anything serious. Like, that was always a means to an end for her. But there were two major characters that she did have a steady relationship with. One was a woman named Iko Hasegawa. Now, during a time where Selina Kyle had to give up the mantle of Catwoman, she became the head of the Calabrese crime family, and she basically had control of Gotham. It's quite a promotion. Iko was the daughter of the head of a rival crime family, and Iko took on the mantle of Catwoman in order to spy on Selina Kyle. But over time, spying became discussions, and then discussions became flirting, and then eventually they became lovers. It didn't last long, but it was adorable. But obviously the most famous romance for Catwoman was with Batman, because the tension between those two was thick. But they wouldn't get together for the longest time because Catwoman's love of crime didn't mesh with Batman's love of justice, so for a while they were just at odds. But eventually they would both chill out, they came up with a compromise, and they made it official, and in some storylines they even got married. And best believe I was so happy when that happened. But now let's talk about the answers to the random question earlier. If Catwoman is teaching you how to be a cat burglar, what aspect of the job would you excel at? Personally, I don't think I'd be good at any aspect of thievery, but I would totally rock that cat suit. She'd have to make me a suit that's a few sizes larger, but I would pull it off. But what do you think of Catwoman? Where does she rank on your favorite superhero character list? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, go ahead and hit the like button, and then be on the lookout for tomorrow's episode where I talk about the warrior from Asgard, Valkyrie. And if you missed my previous video on Deadpool, go ahead and click on the box right here. And I'll see you in a bit.